Well, Barack Obama has been called a rock star in American politics. Crowds at his events are some of the biggest on the campaign trail. But in the polls, he's a distant second to the frontrunner, Hillary Clinton. In a one-on-one interview this week, Obama told CBN's David Brody he hopes Iowa will be his ticket to the White House.
The crowds love him, whether it's Iowa or any place USA. Hundreds, sometimes thousands come to see him, many of them of the younger variety. It's been that way ever since a cold day in Springfield, Illinois, when 15,000 people watched him announce his candidacy.
I stand before you today to announce my candidacy for President of the United States of America.
The attraction seems obvious. Supporters point to a hip personality, a high intellect, and a message of hope as the reasons why his popularity has taken off. Obama got into this race talking about change, a desire to change the contentious public discourse in politics and change the cynicism Americans feel toward government. It is for that reason that Obama pins his hopes on defeating Hillary Clinton.
I believe I can bring this country together in a way that Senator Clinton cannot do.
Do you believe she's a polarizing figure?
Well, I believe that she is part of the fierce political battles that we had in the 90s, and that some of that carries over to today. There's a certain style of politics that comes out of the 90s that she has perfected.
The theme of Obama's 5-day campaign here in Iowa is all about change. Well, indeed, he needs the national poll numbers to change. Hillary Clinton, the clear frontrunner, but here in Iowa, it's different. The polls are close, and Obama knows it. Do you believe you need to win Iowa?
I believe that we need to do well in Iowa, and I think
don't have to win necessarily.
You never want to make predictions about winning or losing. I think we have to establish that we are a viable and legitimate contender.
The Obama campaign has clearly invested the time and money here, 33 offices in the state. He's been to a whopping 62 counties. That has translated into a much tighter race here. Polls show him behind less than 10 points. A win here could help propel him to victory in other early primary states. But there are challenges too. The biggest, his critics say, is his inexperience. At 46, and with less than one term as a U.S. Senator, some say that is not enough, that he hasn't been battle-tested. And those same critics question his practical knowledge of foreign policy. When Obama indicated he would sit down and talk to the leaders of rogue nations without preconditions, opponents pounced, calling that view naive.
It is not that you promise a meeting at that high a level before you know what the intentions are. I don't want to be used for propaganda purposes.
Despite the attacks, Obama keeps on speaking of a new way. He says it's time to break down old barriers between conservatives and liberals.
All praise and honor to God for bringing me here today.
Case in point, an appearance at Pastor Rick Warren's evangelical church to make his case to evangelicals about the AIDS crisis.
I know that the Warrens in this church have proved each day that faith is not something you have, it's something you do.
Talking to evangelicals is not something Obama shies away from. He made a personal decision for Jesus Christ in the 1980s and has talked openly about his faith in public and how he would like to see people of faith come together.
You need to embrace Christ precisely because you have sins to wash away, because you're human and need an ally in this difficult journey.
Obama has lamented the absolutism of the religious right, and conversely, some evangelicals who may be intrigued by Obama's message are trying to understand his stance on major social issues.
The reason that I make a decision to support the choice position is not because I don't think it's a moral issue, but because I trust women to make a prayerful decision about this issue. On the issue of gay marriage, my belief is that as a public official, my role is to make sure that everybody is treated fairly and everybody has equal rights.
Obama's positions probably won't play all that well with true blue conservatives. After all, his record is pretty liberal on many issues. Obama will be the first to admit that. But he also knows that his message may indeed resonate with those in the middle.
the country's in play right now in a way that it hasn't been in the past. I think that there are a lot of independents and a lot of Republicans who've asked themselves, you know, the last 7 years, this is not the kind of compassionate conservatism we were looking for. And so I think they're up for grabs, and we can potentially make inroads there.
If he makes inroads here in Iowa and wins, watch out. It could be a whole new race.
Your voice can change the world, Iowa. Your voice can change health care. Your voice can change education. Your voice can change the American dream. So I want to know, are you fired up? Ready to go?
David Brody, CBN News, on the campaign trail in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Gordon, back to you.
Oh, it's incredible what David Brody is being able to bring to us. He's getting inside access into these campaigns, and we applaud him for it. If you're interested in these reports, we have a special place on CBN.com where we've collected them, and David also has his own blog.